Alright, what's up guys? It's Mitch or Deity back again with another video. Today's video is very spoiler filled, so if you are not to this point in the game, I would suggest not watching this video unless you don't care about spoilers. So, with the final boss of the game, it's like the first big challenge, I feel like, in survivability. The first few times we tried, everyone triple carded. We kept triple carding. We try to call in just a random person to help. They would end up dying twice when we were having a good run. There's just so many problems with this. So the first thing I want to say is if you are having trouble with this, we need to farm this. He has very good items. I won't spoil any items, but he is definitely someone you end up farming. So if you want to, for one, just get it done, join the Discord, or if you need help to beat it the first time, I need to fight him a bunch still, so I'm down to help some groups, and there will be a lot of, everyone's going to be needing to farm this, so if you get in a group and get coordinated, it makes it very, very simple. So best advice I can give, first off, is just join the Discord, and we will help you guys out, and you guys can help each other out by making groups. So that's number one, kind of, not really, that doesn't count. But I'm going to be going over 5 tips for beating this boss. So initially, before you even do the quest, 2 things that are really good to eat for is some kind of skill that gives an additional life, because having 4 faints literally saves runs. So if you can eat for feline insurance, that's super good. There is a new food ability out that you can guarantee, but you have to go through like a side quest. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head, but just try for feline insurance, because you're probably at the point in the game where I was at when I was first beating. I didn't have that other thing unlocked, and I don't know if it's worth going and doing just for guaranteeing this one. You can just eat for it. So try to eat for that, but also try to eat for defense at the same time. So the biggest thing with this is he one-shots you. So if you're using range, he very often one-shots you. So one big thing you can do is eat for defense large. By eating for defense large with my set that I built, so I do have an ice bow set I use against him, it does very good damage compared to what I used before, at least. That set build I will put down in the description below, as well as the Discord link. So if you want to join the Discord, that will be down in there, so if you need help, join that. But then there will also be a link to my last video, which is going to be that ice bow set. So using ranged makes it very easy to stay alive to an extent. You just have to worry about getting one shot, and there's certain attacks you watch out for. So one is in the first stage, he does like a lawn mowing move where he sets his graders down and grates the land in front of him, runs in a straight line. It hits for a lot of damage, but by eating defense large, and if you use items like adamant seed or the drink mega armor skin, if you use those, you have a much better chance of surviving. So definitely go for defense. So you do need to do damage still, but the biggest reason you fail is because people die. So if you go for defense and survive and slowly do damage, you'll end up beating him just fine. This run that you're going to be watching behind in the gameplay, it's like a 15-minute-ish run, 10-ish minute run. So it doesn't take too long to beat him. And I ate for defense, I didn't eat for power. And I played trying to showcase different things. So the first thing is eating for correct skills and trying to get extra defense, because survivability is more important than damage, honestly, because you will fail this more times from people dying than you would from time limits. So don't worry about your damage that much. Make sure you're doing good damage, though, because you don't want to be in this fight for 40 minutes and fail it. But still, defense, like the food, whatever. So moving on. Second is bring some important items. Farcaster is very good. If you're in a bad spot, it's always good to be hovering over your Farcaster or a health item, or if you run out of healing items, to have that Farcaster. That's your only way back to camp, at least that I know of. So always bring a Farcaster. 2, Dust of Life. Dust of Life, so with this, usually when you get hit, as long as you can survive that one hit, you're fine. The biggest problem that you run into is if you get one shot. But if you survive one hit, most of the time you have a chance to get up and heal. The hardest time is during the second phase. He has sand traps, and if you get stuck in a sand trap, you get up, blasted, and then he could target you before you get a chance to reestablish yourself. So that's a time that if all 4 people bring Dust of Life, or even life powders, then just that little bit of health could keep you from getting killed whenever, if you get double hit comboed. And so that's very important in the Farcasters as well. But for number 3, the wall slams. So they added a new feature to the game. I was really against using it at first, but it is so important to use. So definitely make sure you are doing your mounting attacks, weakening parts, and wall slamming. Like, I know, especially if you're like grinding Monster Hunter World a lot, you're just used to the base gameplay, but this They do so much damage. Whenever you wall slam on this, in the first stage, there's that area right once I start the quest, I wall slam. And if you look at that, the rocks he takes 1,000 damage from hitting the wall, like 960 damage, and then he has rocks fall on him that do 7,500 damage. So just from that one wall slam, you just did 8,000 damage. And you can do that every time he rebuilds or I think it's every time he rebuilds the stage, or you can just combo it until he gets enraged. So you can just keep slamming him and those rocks keep falling, you keep doing insane amounts of damage. But then when he breaks his shell and goes into the second phase, which hopefully, I warned for spoilers earlier, but when he breaks his shell and goes into phase 2, there are 3 rock slots that you can drop on him, but don't focus those too much. Try, like, if they fall, because he can knock them down himself just from his attacks. If they fall, don't rely on those to be your damage. Make sure you're still doing decent damage and continually attacking him. And so that way you don't have to rely on that. Because in this video, we didn't get any of those. If you get one, it helps out a ton, because that's a free 10,000 damage, plus it knocks him down, makes him immobile. But if you just do a wall slam, you're not going to get a regular knockdown. So that's just wall slams and using the crutch claw. Just super important to make sure you know how to turn the monster to face the correct wall. And you see the traps on your little mini-map as to where to slam him into. So that is the third. The fourth is status element. So you cannot sleep this boss, so don't worry about sleep. The biggest thing to bring is poison and try for KOs, which isn't status element, but whatever. So with statuses, poison ticks for like 90 damage on him because it's a percentage thing. It's percentage of his total health. So just by poisoning him once or twice during the quest, that overall takes off a very large chunk of his health bar. Probably like 5% per poison is the damage it does of his total health. I'm not sure. I would assume it's something like 5%. That would make sense. But either way, it's a free extra passive damage that continually goes, and it's super easy to inflict on him. Second off, if you can get KOs, so with bow, arrow raining, I usually am against arrow raining, but when you're playing in a group against a big monster like this and you can get KOs, go for the arrow rain. I mean, if you have a hammer user, maybe try to avoid it, but by bringing impact mantle on the bow, just don't do arrow rain, just throw the impact mantle on and go for the KO that way. But either way, if you have a weapon that can KO, try to go for it as much as you can, especially range, just bring the impact mantle. Also, another good mantle to use is the temporal, obviously. Like, if you have a temporal mantle, throw it on right at the beginning and throw it on at the end, or at the second phase. And if you get another chance to throw it on again. Just continually take it off and make sure that the respawn rate comes up faster, because if you continually wear the mantle, it doesn't respawn as fast. So you got to take it off for it to get the full thing. So make sure you put your weapon away, take the mantle off right once it's done. So doing that, impact mantle is good. Rocksteady usually gets you killed more than it helps, honestly, in this fight, I feel like. Because you don't get the knockback, you just get hit twice by 2 little bangs, little chip, or like a chip damage hit, then a full kill hit. So that's one thing that Rocksteady has been kind of rough. It does help you on the roars, but I don't suggest it. Like for bow at least, it's definitely impact on top of temporal, or if you're using like light bow gun, or even probably heavy bow gun, impact and temporal will probably be your best bets. For melee, maybe not so much. Rocksteady might be okay since you're not taking as much damage, but so I honestly, this is more like a 10-tip video, but that was number 4. So the 5th thing that I have noted here, at least, is one thing that you'll find is you will fail this quest quite a bit, most likely, unless you have a really good group going in and you know exactly what to do. So that's why I'm trying to make this video, is to help. That's why I'm trying to promote the Discord being out there, is just to get more people to play Monster Hunter together, because we're going to be playing in-game. We want more people to in-game that can play with us, because I feel like that's going to be a part where a lot of people get stuck. So the more people we can help to get to in-game, the more people we can play with at in-game to farm stuff easier and have more people play with. So overall, it's going to help us as well as help you. So, but what I was saying with that, with failing, is if you get a feint, or definitely if you get 2 feints in the first stage, if you get 1 feint, that's not a big deal. If you get 2 feints but have feline insurance, you can keep going and try. But one thing is, with bow, you have to use dash juices, which in my build here, I built so I didn't have to use dash juice, so I'd stop wasting them. So I talk about that in the old video that I talked about, linked in the description. But one really annoying thing with that is you go through items very, very quickly. If you keep failing, because that's a long hunt, so you have to reproc items, so you're going through multiple of each item per hunt. So dash juice, I was going through like 3 per quest, and we'd fail it. So that is one very annoying thing. So if I would suggest, if you have 2 feints in the first area, just abandon it, because the first area is easy mode. Second area is hard. So the second area is where most of the feints are going to happen on average. So if you get 2, if you have feline insurance, you can try and keep going until you get a third. Or if you're close at the end, then it's worth going to try to finish it. But if you feel like there's a good chance you're going to fail it, just abandon it and go into it again. Especially if you're playing with a group of people you know. That's just good advice to save items, because it will burn through it fast. If you don't care about items, just go every time. Keep practicing. Eventually you might get lucky and get like a super combo at the end. But probably not going to happen. We had so many runs. So many times we'll call in help. We had 3 of us, we'd call in a 4th, and that person would die 3 times. So we're like, okay, try this again. We almost gave up on calling people in, but it's just smarter to call people in, because I'm pretty sure the way, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way it works is 1 person is 1 person health, 2 people is 2 people health, but then 3 and 4 is always a set 4% health, which is 2.7 times total health. So it's always better to have a 4th person, never better to just use 3, from what I've gathered. So sometimes it would be better to just use 3, because then you don't have to worry about a 4th person dying. But in a total sense of damage done, it's supposed to be always better to use 4. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. But that's all I got for this video. So I'm going to let the rest of this hunt play out so you can kind of see what I did. I did hunt this really sloppily because I was trying to do things, kind of showcase different things to talk about. But I honestly did everything I needed to. Just the wall slam at the beginning was the main thing I wanted to show. Is make sure to focus on that wall slam, because it will get you through that first stage faster and have less chances for people to die in that first stage. Once you make it to the second stage, if everyone can survive and continually do damage, you'll end up beating the quest. But that's all I got. So again, oh, one last thing I want to cover. If you're still watching the video, one last thing before, if you want to watch the rest of it or click off, we are starting to do viewer set build videos. So I recorded my first one, I'm going to be uploading it tomorrow. So with the viewer set builds, I'm going to be, if you're in the Discord and you have a set that you want to showcase, then you'll post a picture, and if it looks like a good set, then I'll try to get in contact with you, and we could either do a voice call, or you could just send text as to what you want me to talk about and what you say about the build, and I'll give you full credit, obviously. And it's just something, a cool way for people to showcase set builds that they have that don't make videos, because I know a ton of people that just don't care to make videos, but they have sets that they like sharing. So if you are one of those people, or want ideas for sets, just join the Discord, and there will be a channel for that in there. And biggest thing is, don't copy other people's set and bring it in and try to have me make a video over the exact same set someone else posted. I will just say that now. Try to make it a little unique, and reasons as to why you used each skill. But now that's all I got. Enjoy the rest of this hunt. Join the Discord, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Good luck on your hunts.